Kia ora koutou katoa and welcome to Logan Park in Otipoti, Dunedin for live coverage of this New Zealand Football Women's National League match between Southern United and the high-flying Eastern Suburbs. It's the penultimate round of the league and this is Southern's final home match of the campaign. They'll be desperate to bounce back from their shock loss to a plucky Central football side in Palmerston North last week. Meanwhile, Eastern Suburbs, well, they've already locked in top spot with a couple of rounds to go and confirmed their place in the grand final, which will be against Western Springs. But Suburbs will still want to prove a point against their southern rivals here and continue their momentum heading into that grand final in a couple of weeks' time. My name's Morgan Jarvis and it's my pleasure to commentate today's match. Decent conditions here, a bit better than the last match we had. A little bit overcast, but it's quite warm here. Could be hitting 20 degrees. It's warm, at least by Dunedin standards. Could be some light showers forecast. Shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully it doesn't come to too much. I'm off to the centre parade after this match, so let's hope the weather holds okay. And hopefully we'll get a bit of a crowd filter in for this last match of the campaign in Dunedin for Southern United, who have performed pretty admirably. We'll look at the visitors line up first, Eastern Suburbs. And with a spot in the grand final sewn up, there's no less than 5 changes for Suburbs today, with regular starters not in the 11 today, including Devon Jackson, Rachel Head, Arina Wong, Ella Findlay, and goalkeeper Brooke Bennett. But they show remarkable depth when they can bring in players like Saki Yoshida, Zoe Benson, Kenya Brooke, and Amy Atkins. And in goals for them today is 19-year-old Kate Payne. And for the home side, Southern United, well, they've got impressive goalkeeper Kate Hannay and fullback Tony Power returning after missing last week's trip to Palmerston North, but they are missing key trio Hannah McKay-Wright, Jasmine Prince and Samantha Woolley. They've got 20-year-old defender Freya Partridge-Moore making her first National League start after a handful of brief substitute appearances so far, and it's once again a very youthful bench for Southern. Players to watch for Southern will include former Football Fern and former Eastern Suburbs player Sarah Morton, who's had a wonderful influence since coming into the side, joining her sister Rose. So Sarah will be keen to impress up against her former club. And also look out for striker Kennedy Bryant, who scored a great hat-trick against Auckland United a couple of weeks back. She'll be looking to link up with Margie Diaz and Chelsea Whittaker on the counter-attack for the home team. And for Eastern Suburbs, well, they've got the competition's leading scorer with 17 goals, Taylor O'Brien. She'll be hungry to add to her tally today, as will 18-year-old striker Juliette Lucas. Up against her former side, Lucas hails from Dunedin, but has moved north and, well, she's really made her mark with Suburbs this season. She was a golden boot in the Northern Women's Premier League through winter with 16 goals, and she's added another 6 in just 8 National League appearances. As the two teams make their way onto the pitch, Southern United in their all blue and Eastern Suburbs in their familiar all white strip. As we look at the officials there today, referee Lindsay Robinson with Daniel Dukenfield and Alice Clipsome on the sidelines, and Donna Agnew is the 4th official today. Lindsay Robinson, familiar to many as the New Zealand Football Referee Development Manager. Very accomplished referee herself. In other Women's National League fixtures this weekend, there were a couple of matches yesterday. Western Springs, they confirmed themselves as Suburbs' grand final opponent with an emphatic 9-0 win over Central, while Northern Rovers beat Canterbury United Pride 6-3 in a bit of a doozy yesterday. Later today, this afternoon, Auckland United host Capital. And there's also the big one in the Men's National League this afternoon. You can catch the grand final between Auckland City and Wellington Olympic on Sky Sport 3 immediately following this match, 2 p.m. Great to have all Women's and Men's National League matches being broadcast live. As the wind picks up here at Logan Park, it can funnel through here a wee bit, could make conditions a little bit awkward. Suburbs, who spectacularly won their first 10 matches of this National League campaign before finally dropping points a couple of weeks ago in Christchurch, but they bounced back to winning ways last week with a hard-fought but well-deserved 4-2 win over Northern Rovers. Meanwhile, Southern United, well, last year's National League South Central Series champions, and they had been on a mighty run of form before they slipped up to Central last week. Central's first win of the season. That 2-1 loss for Southern, it's the first time since round 2 that they've conceded more than a single goal in a match. And to be fair, they were both absolute worldies from Central as well. So Southern will be looking to rely on their aggressive pressing defence, which saw them concede just a single goal up at Eastern Suburbs back in week 5. And Southern, well, a win for them today could help them to try and finish above their neighbours and rivals Canterbury United Pride in the fight for 4th spot. So very close to kick-off here. A little bit gloomy and overcast here. Bit of a breeze. It's going to be the visitors, Eastern Suburbs, to get things underway here. Playing from right to left, you can see Juliet Lucas there along in the 9 shirt, along with number 8, Taylor O'Brien. Gee, they'll both be hungry to add to their goal tallies today. Home side Southern United playing from left to right. Could be a fascinating clash today. Plenty of attacking talent in this Eastern Suburbs lineup, a real fluidity to how they often line up and play as well. Looks like Rebecca Van Dort might be out on that right-hand side of the defence at the moment. Back to young goalkeeper Kate Payne. Only had one start for Suburbs in the National League back in round 1 against Capital, but made plenty of appearances through the winter season. As Yoshida just slips over there under pressure from Rankin and did the no whistle gone. So now Whittaker looking to get a shot in. Under pressure from Page, gets a shot away and it's not too far wide. Encouraging start there for Southern, and that just shows what you should expect from them. They'll look to be applying pressure, not allow Suburbs too much time on the ball, particularly in that middle third of the pitch. Tony Power in the 21 shirt today, back in the lineup, but well won there by O'Brien, and she charges forward into a bit of space. Atkins on the ball there in the 11 shirt, and Lucas didn't quite get the touch she wanted there. Sarah Morton, whose experience will be crucial at the back for Southern today. We saw her with a brilliant assist from that kind of range last time in. Rankin slips it through and Payne does just enough. Gets her foot to it to knock it wide of goal. Wow. That's the kind of chance that you'll see Southern wanting to create today.
Corner, bro.
On a counter-attack.
Get a corner.
Will be a corner here for Southern. And they'll look to make use of these set pieces. Kennedy Bryant swings it in with her left foot, and not a bad one at the near post, but headed for another corner by O'Brien, I think it was. Bryant, who had about a dozen corners match against Capital a couple of weeks ago, takes them off both feet as well, and this another left-footed one, and Payne can't quite get to it, and the defence scrambles it clear. You can see Payne's frustration that she didn't claim that one confidently. Now Suburbs looking to counter, but Metum loses out there. O'Brien looks like she's starting off in the midfield today. great start to this match. Southern with a couple of early chances and a couple of corners. Suburbs will no doubt be looking to just compose themselves and all the way back to Kate Hane, who's been so impressive in goals for Southern United. Missed last week's fixture. Diaz battling away there with Kenya Brook, the 12 for Eastern Suburbs. Brook wins that one and Atkins with a bit of time. Nice build up here, Benson onto O'Brien, looks to feed it out to Page. Southern win it back, Morrison. Out to Whitaker. It's too far ahead of Bryant, so Payne with a chance just to compose herself on the ball now. And Dort, the captain for Suburbs. Quite a game last week against Rovers. Scored an early, powerful header. Also missed a penalty kick. Whitaker should be able to deal with this one. May hope that it travels all the way. Oh, and Page, good pressure there, but it will be a goal kick. Seemingly into the swirling breeze. Rose Morton gets it clear though. All the way back to Payne, who does well enough, gets it to Atkins and links up with Yoshida. Sarah Morton, strong play there though, up against Benson. Lucas looking to hound the experienced Kennard, and Hane does well under pressure from the former Southern striker. Diaz looks up, looks to unleash Bryant, who will get to the ball here. Does she have much support though? Then Dort comes across, it's slipped across, oh! And, well, that was a chance for Whitaker. Just couldn't quite get to it. It's Morrison. She taken down there. They appeal for a free kick, but I think it'll just be a goal kick. Great to see Southern United really up for this game. You could make a case for Suburbs not having a huge amount to play for, having already wrapped up #1 spot on the table and a grand final spot, but I'm sure they'll want to keep the momentum going, and there's players here with a point to prove to try and earn a spot in the side for that grand final in a couple of weeks' time. As Paige is just down here, hopefully nothing too serious, just getting her breath. Going to have to make her way off the pitch there, but hopefully she'll be okay to return soon. Olivia Page, who was part of the New Zealand Under-17 World Cup squad over in India, made 3 appearances as a substitute over there. Suburbs look to build from the back. Nicely cut out there for Suburbs, but that's too far ahead of Atkins down this left flank. former Central football player. She will have been pretty pleased to have seen her former teammates get up for their first win of the season last week against Southern. Southern, of course, led 1-0 at half-time, looked to be cruising in that game and were fairly dominant, but a couple of absolute screamers in the second half from Central. From Isla Cleo-Harding and Tessa Highland, both from well outside the box. Can't say Central didn't deserve to pick up a win at some point through the season. Plenty of talented young footballers on that side. Tony Power gets it back from Diaz. Great control from Diaz, and Rose Morton driving forward down the flank. Gets a good cross into the box, but no one quite there. It's not a great clearance though, and this time Suburbs will to get out, and this is what you see from Southern. They don't mind the backs having a bit of time, but they'll be so quick to shut down in these kind of places, and they do a great job again from youngster Freya Partridge-Moore in her first National League start. She's had 4 substitute appearances, only for a total of 23 minutes across the season, and here she is starting up against the best team in the league. Great opportunity for her. Comes in long here, and Suburbs do well to clear, and Zoe Benson, another New Zealand Under-17 World Cup representative. Made 1 substitute appearance against Germany in that recent World Cup. Nicely cut out by Kennard, although now it just about falls for Lucas. Partridge-Moore under pressure. Oh, can't quite get it clear. Rose Morton, no one in the league mops up those kind of balls better than her. Van Dort swings it across to Brooke. Drives forward into a bit of space powerfully. There's plenty of players in support still going, and tried to feed it through to Lucas. Nicely cut out. Suburbs will look to build again. Yoshida's pass cut out though by Rankin, who's been a really strong performer for Southern in the midfield throughout the season. And Bryant dropping deep, great control, looks to link up with Whittaker now. She'll look to take on Van Dort. She'll go past her, does well, swings it across, but Diaz just wasn't quite on the same wavelength there. Encouraging signs again though for Southern. Almost 12 minutes gone here, and well, I think Southern will be able to put a tick in one of the game plan boxes, and that'll be to have prevented Suburbs from scoring an early goal like we so often see from them throughout this competition. Lucas looks to link up with Yoshida, and nicely cut out by Power. Diaz can't quite get that one under control, but look at the effort from Power. Can't quite get to it, but he's got as good an engine as anyone in the league, I think, Tony Power. Rose Morton does well to shield the ball from Benson. Gets another chance here, and oh, well, good defending from Brooke to just hold out Diaz, but Southern player gets it back. Morrison. Power up against Atkins. Morton under pressure from Benson, but Southern do a nice job of just retaining possession. Morton does well with another interception. Rachel Head there in the 15 shirt. Atkins, that pass is cut out by Power, and Diaz again. Nice control. Benson cuts this one out though. O'Brien chips it ahead, looking for Lucas. Oh, Hane, brave goalkeeping, does a wonderful job there. Gee, she's been good since coming into the starting lineup. Didn't start the first 2 matches. Remember, Southern conceded 13 goals in their first 2 matches of the campaign. Admittedly, being a federation-based side, they quite limited preparation compared to a club side like Eastern Suburbs, who I think this is their 37th match of the season across the Winter Northern Premier League season and some Cape Shepherd Cup matches. Suburbs, who only finished 3rd in the NRFL Women's Premier League, behind Northern Rovers and Western Springs, but seem to have really clicked at the right time in this National League campaign as tame effort comes in there. Yoshida back into the starting lineup today. And Partridge Moore does well to get that, but it's a poor touch and under pressure, and Southern relieved to scramble it clear. Head all the way back to Payne. It may have been a late change to the lineup for Eastern Suburbs with Rachel Head, who I actually had as starting on the bench, but she looks like she has started in the place of Aria Blackler. As the wind continues to rip through the Logan Park turf here. Sierra Morden under a bit of pressure, but does well to link up with Power. She'll look to link up with Diaz again. Oh, keeps it in and does pretty well, although Benson pounces on it. Look at Rose Morden again with winning it again for her side. Does break now for O'Brien, who has a go from distance, gets a bit of power in it, but was never going to threaten Hane there. Sure that Suburbs will look to put a bit of pressure on young Freya Partridge-Moore, who's in that left-back role for Southern. First start, we've seen Samantha Woolley make that position her own over the course of the season, but not in the lineup today. But Partridge-Moore, well, she's got a very experienced defender alongside her in Kelsey Kennard. More than 200 appearances at the top level in local Premier League and National League. Oh, this is nicely done by Lucas, and may have won herself a corner here, but no, the last touch may have actually come off Lucas, so it's a goal kick for Southern. That wind's making it a wee bit awkward, particularly for the Southern defenders. Rose Morton does well there. Find Whitaker, who's fouled. plenty of experience in this Southern lineup. None more so than Sarah Morton, really, the former football fern. Been a revelation since she's come into the Southern side, and really looks to be enjoying her football, playing alongside her sister Rose. Nice turn from O'Brien, who's trying to get more involved and looped in high. It's an awkward one for Hane. Well, she does well enough, especially in the swirling wind and under pressure from the imposing figure of Juliet Lucas, who's still only 18. Bit of a monster, though, and a real physical presence up top for Suburbs. Looking to link up with comes all the way back to Hane here. But I think that's Arina Wong over on that right hand side now for Suburbs, on as an early substitute. As it falls for Rankin here and sees Whitaker outside her. Her touch is a bit heavy though, Van Dort does well. So Lucas is in a bit of space here. Is that Bryant all the way tracking back there, doing a good job, and does well to keep the ball in play as well. Southern striker, it stays in, and awkward bounce here. Morton can't quite get to it. Atkins looks to feed O'Brien, but instead Southern just about scramble it clear, and now they'll look to counter with Morrison sending it long for Rankin to try and race onto. Payne very alert though, Suburbs keeper. So it looks like young Olivia Page may have had to succumb to that very early injury, with Wong coming on. Nice turn from Nicole Metten, but Southern do enough. We've reached the point about halfway through the first half, and once again Southern will be pleased to keep Suburbs scoreless. As Morton does well to keep that one in again. Be a throw-in. Throughout this National League Championship, Eastern Suburbs have scored as many goals in the first quarter of matches as Southern United have right throughout the season across the full 90 minutes, 16. Suburbs with a remarkable 51 goals so far in their 12 matches. Bryant again dropping deep, links up with Morton, and it's only gone as far as Benson though. Links up with Lucas, who tries to return it to a young teammate. Couldn't quite do so. Power under pressure from Atkins. Good tussle going on there down this near side. Kenya Brook, and O'Brien turns into space and looks to fire from distance. Could have been an awkward bounce for Hane, but does well. O'Brien just looking more and more involved. 17 goals for her in her 12 matches so far. So now Metten looks to link up with Lucas, and coming through just about for Benson. Power coming across from the fullback position, did a great job of mopping up. Danger's not averted though for Southern. Have to be careful not to concede a foul there, but Sarah Morden does a great job, and Southern again looking to counter. Whittaker looking to link up with Morrison driving forward. It's been an entertaining opening quarter of this match. No goals yet, but good positive football from both sides. Suburbs looking increasingly dangerous, but Southern United matching them so far, and especially in terms of effort. Rose Morden just takes her time and does well to find Bryant. Rankin won't quite get onto that one. Be another throw-in for Kenya Brook, 24-year-old defender who, if I recall correctly, was part of the Forest Hill Milford side back in 2018 in the Kate Shepherd Cup final against Dunedin Tech, which the Dunedin side famously won in impressive fashion. A number of those Dunedin Tech players featuring still for Southern here. Rose Morden again in the right place. Morrison links up with Partridge Moore. Nice ball from her to find Whittaker. He's up against a experienced defender there in Van Dort. Good tussle there, but somehow Whittaker gets the better of it, and could have been an awkward one there for Payne, but the goalkeeper does well. Great to see Chelsea Whittaker back to some of her best form, and she's scored goals in a couple of recent matches. As Lucas here, we'll see the offside flag go up. More direct play there from Suburbs, trying to catch out the Southern defence. Sarah Morden goes long. Don't think Diaz was ever going to win that battle up against Brook, but the Southern attacker does well to help win the ball back. O'Brien again in the middle of the park. Brook all the way back to Payne, and you'll see Bryant doing well. She was alert to that opportunity, just a little bit of complacency at the back from Suburbs. Can't afford that against Southern. Diaz again does well to win the ball. Tried to slide it past Brook. The defender did well. Benson drives forward and finds Lucas. Has Kennard to go past, and Kennard and Sarah Morton combine well. Southern defending quite deep on this occasion. There's a bit of space for Van Dort to drive into. Tries to link up with O'Brien, but wonderfully done there from Partridge Moore, and wins herself a free kick. Great defending there. What a huge ask for her coming in up against some of the best attacking players in the competition. It's done well so far. Flicked on here for Whittaker, who again is up against Van Dort. Van Dort might just win this battle. Does enough. Momentum, I think, this time dropping a bit deeper. This is a nice counter here from Suburbs. Rina Wong has her cross blocked. Oh, wonderfully done there from Southern to prevent a corner. Once again, I think that's Kennedy Bryant, the striker, all the way back, helping out her defence. It's what you get from the Southern side. Partridge Moore just about does enough there, and again wins a free kick. Bit of frustration from O'Brien there, but Partridge Moore did just enough. Just about at the half-hour mark here. Wong swings it across. Nicely done by Sarah Morton. Power and Atkins again going head to head. Rankin and Yoshida this time. So many good duels going on across the park. Atkins on that left foot swings it across. Nice calm defending from Kennard. Diaz again tries to go past Brooke. Some great tussles going on right across the park here. Atkins and Lucas and O'Brien again hungry to try and get anything on goal. Instead, chips it in looking for Benson, but running away from goal a bit there. But Atkins now swings it in. Rankin gets it clear, and look at that again from Bryant. The effort is immense, and wins the tackle again. Kennedy Bryant, incredible engine on her as well. Missed a match a few weeks ago because she was running in the Auckland half marathon, I think it was, that she had already committed to before linking up with the Southern side. But that just goes to show the stamina that she brings to this side. It's a big part of Southern's game plan, really, is the work rate right across the park. Brooke looks to get a long throw in. Comes across to Lucas, but Rose Morden does brilliantly to win the ball and tries to spark something. Looks to link up with Bryant. He might be claiming a handball there against Head, but it was calm defending from the experienced defender. Taylor O'Brien up against Kennard again. Might just keep this one in. That one, again, it'll be a goal kick. O'Brien just a little bit frustrated, but getting more and more involved. One of a number of players in the Suburbs squad that also does a lot of coaching as well, and O'Brien is an assistant coach of this side. A couple of youngsters like Olivia Page and Aria Blackler also involved in coaching juniors. Great to see so many young players getting involved in coaching as well. Yoshida looks up and drives forward. Links up with Lucas. Nice touch onto Benson. Lucas with a shot! Oh! Not too far away there. That was a bit more like it from Suburbs. Benson getting it back to Lucas. Smashed the shot, but it was always just curving away. Goal. Suburbs just dialing things up a wee bit here. And O'Brien with Wong driving down the right flank now. Drills it across, but great block from Kennard. Van Dort staying a long way forward. Suburbs are just looking to up the attacking intensity a little bit. Payne with a bit of time on the ball once again. We see this from Southern. They allow that backline, but it's around this halfway line where they try and apply the pressure. Yoshida does well to link up with Atkins, and now Lucas lays it off for Benson. Gets a shot in and on target, but wasn't going to trouble Hane from that kind of distance. It's good to see that the wind's just died off a wee bit here too. Brooke with a long throw down the line. Easy for Sarah Morton though. Power does well to win the ball back. Diaz and Power though getting each other's way a little bit there. Two number 11s there though. Diaz comes out on top against Atkins. See this so often in Southern United matches, these tussles in the middle of the park. Rose Morton drives a long way forward, helping out Diaz, and Morton again on the ball. Feeds it across to Morrison. Drives forward, here's Whittaker outside her, but nicely cut out by Suburbs, and Van Dort now with lots of space to drive into. Did well to find Lucas, but she was surrounded by blue shirts. Brooke now driving forward, and Lucas will get onto this one. Great defending though from Kennard. Diaz wins the ball back again off Benson. Morrison, just both teams just maybe trying to hurry things a wee bit too much here and not quite stringing the passes together the way that they need to. But it's because of the intensity of the defending from both sides. Power this time cuts it out. Morrison, can she beat head to the ball? Metum comes away with it. A few white shirts forward here. O'Brien's a long way forward. Rina Wong feeds O'Brien. Can she get across? No, she can't. So it'll be another goal kick. So Kelsey Kennard sucking in the deep breaths there. One advantage that Suburbs will definitely have, as we'll see come into play in the second half, is the depth and experience on their bench. This is some good pressure again from Southern here. Is Diaz onside there? Applies pressure on head, so didn't see the flag go up there. Partridge Moore got a long way forward there, trying to win the ball back. Oh, strong challenge coming in there from Bryant. Yeah, plenty of experience on the bench for Eastern Suburbs today, as Power is in a bit of space here. Has Brooke chasing back, but Power looks to get across, swings it across to Diaz, left-footed shot, well blocked from Atkins. It will be another corner for Southern United. For Southern, I think they've got Gemma Wilson, a defender on the bench who has started a couple of games and had a few subs appearances this season. The rest of the bench has only got a few minutes between them of National League football. Southern often don't make too many substitutions compared to some of the other teams, just don't have quite that same depth of experience. But here's a corner for Southern. What can they do here? It's dangerously swung in, and Payne did well to punch it clear enough. Good goalkeeping from the 19-year-old at goals for Eastern Suburbs today. Freya Partridge-Moore again has the confidence to drive forward and swings across. Yoshida did well. Southern see this as a bit of a chance to pounce though. Diaz, great footwork, although just overplayed it a wee bit in the end. And can Suburbs counter? Once again, they'll just want to be careful with those kind of passes because Bryant was again looking to pounce. Sarah Morden does well to cut that out. Dares just about keep that one in, I think. She will do. Does well. Great defending though from Kenya Brook. Hasn't been one of the regular starters for Suburbs, but had a strong start to this match. Saki Yoshida, the Japanese midfielder, under pressure from Rankin, and Van Dort scrambles it clear. Rose Morden with another interception. Only 5 minutes or so to play in this first half. Unbelievably, it's still 0-0. Not too many clear-cut chances on goal. Both teams with 2 or 3 efforts on goal without anything too threatening. It's been a real battle throughout the middle of the park, really. Rankin looks to find Bryant, but nicely cut out by Head, but Bryant won't give up on it. Wins herself the throw. Bryant can't find a teammate there, but look at that from Morrison winning it off O'Brien, who won't give up on it, and she's frustrated to have conceded a free kick there for slightly over-enthusiastic challenge, just when it looked like she might be feeding Lucas and on attack. This is the kind of set piece that Southern will look to try and create a chance from. What can Sarah Morden create? As we've seen throughout the season, that heavily strapped knee, but swings it in, and Brooke did a great job of clearing it. Long range effort from Morrison, but not on goal. Diaz will just about keep that one in. Does well. No, might have just gone over the line. Not quite as controversial as what we saw a couple of days ago in the Men's World Cup. Japan up against Germany. Bit of a heavy touch there from O'Brien, but does well. Play her way out of trouble. Morton, Rose Morton there. Southern look to apply pressure further up the pitch here. Suburbs having to be careful. They play out of the press there. Haven't really seen Atkins get into too many attacking positions. She was looking to get onto it there, but it was brilliantly cut out by Southern again. We often see Atkins pinned to that left touchline. Nice ball cut out by Wong there, and she gets it back from O'Brien. What can Suburbs create before the halftime break? And does fall here for Benson. Lovely shimmy. Gets a shot in. Hane beats it away. It looked like a great save. Suburbs still on the attack. The header from O'Brien. Easy for Hane. Oh, that looked like a really sharp save from Hane there, though. To deny, I think it was Benson. Not sure if it was a save or if it hit the post, actually, but... Oh, is it just about breaks for Whitaker and then Diaz. Diaz links up with Power a long way forward. Slides it across. Nicely cut out by Yoshida. Power and Atkins, what a tussle that's been. Wharton looks to find Morrison. Bryant lays it across. Diaz, oh, against the bar. Huge chance for Southern to take the lead just before the break, and you can see the wry smile from Margarita Diaz, knowing that was a big chance. They'll have another chance before the break here. Lovely touch from Bryant. Diaz's shot only against the corner of the goalposts. We'll get a chance here to swing it in. What a time this would be to score a goal. And it wasn't a bad corner, and Sarah Morton was racing in to try and meet it. Bryant will be disappointed with that one, though. So we're in referee Lindsay Robinson's time here at the end of this first half. Still no goals. I have a feeling that there's only been one match all season for Suburbs where they haven't scored in the first half, when they came from behind to beat Auckland United a few weeks ago. A big second half effort. And there is the half-time whistle. And it's been an entertaining match, but we're yet to see a goal here at Logan Park. Southern United and Eastern Suburbs both creating a couple of good chances each. But it's still goalless here. Don't go too far away, because we'll be back very soon with second half action of this National League clash. See you soon.
At Ford, we're always looking towards the future. So while we're proud of our range of vehicles, we're even prouder of being the first company to support not only the football ferns, but the next generation. And the legends we grew up wanting to be.
We believe in supporting and nurturing our extended sporting whānau, working towards promoting a healthy group activity that kids, parents and friends love. We want everyone to feel invited. It is in our DNA. We are accessible to all. We are football in Aotearoa. We are the beautiful game, and we are proud to be the largest sporting whānau in New Zealand. FIFA Women's World Cup is coming to the shores of Aotearoa, New Zealand in 2023. Uniting Aotearoa, it offers an unprecedented opportunity to make our game bigger, better and bolder for everyone, especially for girls and women. Its legacy starts now. Our leverage and legacy plan will supercharge football in Aotearoa, grounded in two principles. Mana wahine, elevating the spirit and mana of wahine. And Tūranga Waiwai, our place of belonging, our foundation, our home. Built on 4 po or pillars. The power of opportunities, whakamana. Partnerships, mana ngātahi. Pathways, ara. And tiaki, people and places. Committed to the people and the land of Aotearoa, New Zealand, this plan leads the way by breaking barriers, paves the way for future generations, grows and strengthens the game through meaningful relationships, and creates a game for all and a place of connection. With Aotearoa united, legacy starts now.
Kia ora, welcome back to Logan Park in Dunedin. It's half time in this Women's National League match between Southern United and Eastern Suburbs. We had a goalless first half. It was an entertaining first half though. Both teams really giving it everything, even though you could say neither team's got a huge amount to play for in terms of the competition. Suburbs have already got the top spot on the table sewn up, and they've booked themselves a place in the grand final in a couple of weeks' time, and that'll be against Western Springs, who confirmed their spot with a big 9-0 win over Central yesterday, clearly been the two best teams throughout this National League phase. And Suburbs, well, they've brought in a few fresh faces for this match, but they do have great depth across their squad. Meanwhile, Southern United, well, they've been out of the running for a top 2 grand final spot for a couple of weeks now, but they strung some fantastic results together throughout the season before they slipped up last week up against Central. Central winning that one 2-1. And Southern, well, they're destined to finish up in a mid-table spot, which is still a pretty good achievement, I think. And I think they'd be really keen to try and sneak back above the Canterbury United Pride, their South Island rivals. This is Southern United's last home match. They travel up to McFetridge Park in Auckland to face Northern Rovers next week. Suburbs will have a home match against Western Springs. Well, how about that? meet each other again a week later in the grand final. So that could be an interesting one to tune into, to see how both teams approach that one. But I'm sure that they'll be wanting to focus on the next 45 minutes of action here at Logan Park. They couldn't break down this determined Southern side in that first half, and both teams creating a few efforts on goal, probably one or two really good chances each. Southern have only scored 16 goals across their 12 matches. 10 of those, though, have come in the second half of matches, so look to see the likes of Kennedy Bryant, whose work rate has been huge, just having a few sound issues from on the ground. If you can't catch any of the sound, hopefully we'll bring that back to you soon, but hopefully that's what you think. You can hear me okay. And Southern immediately looking to create something off the kickoff, and Morrison just about got to that ahead of Van Dort, but the Suburbs captain did well. To see what changes we've got, it looks like number 19 for Eastern Suburbs, Nicole Cooper, is there, and there she is on the ball. So that's a half-time change. As Tony Power looks to play out, but can't find a teammate there all the way through to Payne. Suburbs again, this is where you see that pressure from Southern around that halfway line, but Lucas does well to link up with Atkins, and now the substitute Cooper up against Sarah Morton. Gets it back to Atkins. Good strong challenge coming in from Tony Power. They had a great tussle in that first half. O'Brien with a clever turn, gets a shot away. Oh, straight into Kennard. Gee, how did she stay on her feet after that? Because that was hit with some power. Now Lucas from long range, but her effort's also blocked. Lucas again fighting hard to win the ball. Out to Van Dort. Rose Morton with another interception, but comes back to Cooper. Oh, and Sarah Morton frustrated with her clearance there. It only goes as far as Van Dort. Will she look to have an effort? She's good off both feet, gets a left-footed shot on target. Oh, Hane just about made a mess of that. Very relieved to pounce on the ball. Good start to the second half here for the visitors, Eastern Suburbs. We may have sound back for you now from on ground. The wind still ever present down here at Logan Park, but it has dropped a little bit from what we saw right at the start of the match. Let's hope the rain stays away. I think it may do. Kenya Brook drives forward into a bit of space. Once again, it's around that halfway line where the pressure comes from Southern, but Suburbs certainly looking to have a bit of intensity to their play after the break. But look at this potential counter with Rankin racing onto the ball. Can she link up with Diaz? Not quite. Head is in the right place. Goal kick for Eastern Suburbs. Nicole Cooper's been heavily involved since coming on. Maybe on for Zoe Benson, who was busy in that first half. Atkins links up with Lucas, slides it across, looking for Yoshida. Partridge Moore does well to shut her down, but Yoshida gets it back, looking to play a 1-2 there with Van Dort, who's getting adventurous early in the second half, and she's back on the ball here. Partridge Moore does enough. Now Southern through power. Can't get it past her nemesis there, Atkins, but true to form, Power wins it back again. I think they're just about all square so far today in their tussle. Whitaker does well to flick it on, but can't find her teammate. Diaz. Official over on the sideline there, Alice Clipsome, who's one of 6 New Zealanders appointed to the Women's A-League officials panel this season. Great to see her as an assistant referee the other week for the Wellington Phoenix's home match against Western United. Wonderful to see for a young official from down this end of the country. Great to see a couple of New Zealand officials at the heart of a Men's World Cup clash the other day as well, even if it was a bit of a controversial one. All the way back to Kate Payne in goals today for Eastern Suburbs. Regular keeper Brooke Bennett on the bench. Bennett, who's been superb, had a good season actually, spent I think most of the winter over in Tasmania for the Devonport Strikers, where she picked up the Golden Gloves in the league over there, Tasmanian Women's Super League. But nice to see Payne get another chance in goals, just her second start of this National League after she started in the round 1 clash. Southern through Morrison and Diaz, but that's nowhere near linking up with Bryant. Yoshida does well under pressure from Rankin, and O'Brien wins a free kick there. She looked to get involved in that first half as that half went on and had a couple of long range efforts, but hasn't quite looked like the outstanding golden boot so far of the competition. She's scored 17 goals and unfortunately appears to be injured here, and it's Southern United's physio Helen Littleworth that races on to try and help her. Let's hope it's nothing too major, because it would be terrible if O'Brien was to pick up an injury and not be able to play in that grand final in a couple of weeks' time. She couldn't have a more experienced physiotherapist there helping her out. Helen Littleworth, Southern United physio, former Black Ferns rugby captain, played in New Zealand's first Women's World Cup back in 1991, 20 games for the Black Ferns. Been so heavily involved as a physiotherapist across so many codes and events over the years, and unfortunately O'Brien is having to be substituted. Let's hope that's precautionary as much as anything. Got a pretty handy replacement coming on in number 14, Ella Findlay, 18-year-old, part of the New Zealand under-20 side that played in the World Cup in Costa Rica back in August. Let's hope that Taylor O'Brien is nothing too major. She looks pretty disappointed over there on the sideline though. Former under-20 World Cup representative herself, O'Brien. 17 goals in this National League along with 12 in the Northern Premier League. It's been an outstanding season. Play back underway here. Cooper lays across with Brooke, who's always been keen to try and drive forward onto the ball. And can she spark something here? Can't quite find Lucas. Go all the way through for a goal kick there for Southern. Speaking of Women's World Cups, well, counting down the months now to the FIFA Women's World Cup here in New Zealand and Australia next year. We're pretty excited about that down here in Dunedin, I'll tell you that. And we've got at least 6 matches, including, of course, New Zealand Football Ferns final group match against, I believe it's Switzerland at Forsyth Bar Stadium, just across the road from the turf here, under the roof. Won't need to worry so much about the wind and probable snow and that we'll have at that time of year. What an event that's going to be. If you haven't already got tickets, get them now. Cooper loses out there. Diaz shimmies and looks to get a shot in, thunders it over the bar, but ambitious effort there.
It was there and then it just went blank screen.
Diaz, who's scored a couple of goals so far, including one in the opening week against Western Springs, and picked up a goal in Southern's win over Central here as well. As that's nicely cut out there by Sarah Morden. She's been immense today for Southern. Morrison cuts this one out. They rack up the intercepts, this Southern United side. Morrison loses out. Findlay, nice composure from the young Suburbs midfielder. Van Dort. That's cut out by Rankin, who has some teammates in front of her. Diaz again, can't quite thread it through to Bryant. Yoshida looking to link up with Cooper all the way out to Wong. Arina Wong, nice touch from the, well, talented and experienced Suburbs player. Very handy futsal player. I believe she would have racked up more than 150 games now for Eastern Suburbs over the years. Long range effort coming in, not too far away. Arina Wong, whose mother Sue is the beloved team manager for Eastern Suburbs. Great family involvement there with the club for a long time now. Power loses out to Findlay, who does well and has Atkins, but that's far too far ahead of her wing back there. I feel like Suburbs haven't quite utilised the width through the likes of Atkins and Wong, as you often see with their formation. Essentially a 3-4-3 and lots of attacking talent up top, but the likes of Atkins usually heavily involved out wide, stretching the defence. Southern do such a good job of staying compact, and they do well again through Power. Links up with Diaz. Morrison's driving forward, but it's a bit far ahead of her.
appears to be just a blank screen again.
all the way through to Payne.
I feel like Judd will probably power over again.
Bit of a stalemate here at the moment between Southern United and Eastern Suburbs. You imagine Southern would be the more pleased with the fact that there's still no goals. They know they're always a chance. Scored a couple of late goals, pick up points throughout the season. No one's better than Eastern Suburbs at just getting the job done and picking up the results. 12 matches, 11 wins, including their first 10 matches. They were tripped up by Canterbury United Pride in Christchurch a couple of weeks back. They were Suburbs. Good win against Northern Rovers at River Hills Park last week. Some nice link up here, play here from Cooper out to Wong, who is pinned to the sideline there. Swings it across and it comes all the way through to Cooper. Can she get a shot away? Well, did pretty well, but Kennard, brilliant block. Just in the nick of time. Metem looks to swing it across. Comes all the way across. Oh, good touch from Atkins. Can she get it on her left foot? She does! And there is the opening goal on the hour mark. Good determination from Amy Atkins there to just win the ball. Came all the way through. It was a good first touch. Did well there to go past Sarah Morton. Smashed it left Hane with no chance. What a strike. Amy Atkins. That's her first goal of the campaign. She's played in 11 matches for Suburbs. Great strike to break the deadlock here. Showed a bit of grit to keep going and get the shot away. The kind of grit that you need against a team like Southern. And well, after Southern were tripped up by Central Football up in Palmerston North last week, it's a former Central star, Amy Atkins, who breaks the deadlock here. Southern looking to immediately strike back. Power does well. Morrison can't get in front of Van Dort, who does superbly. Suburbs captain. Lucas holding the ball up. Hasn't been quite as involved today as she would have liked up top for Suburbs. Juliet Lucas up against her former side. Made 11 substitute appearances as a teenager for Southern United. Only racked up 125 minutes in total. Don't think she managed a goal, but has really looked the part for East Suburbs. But this is nicely cut out. Bryant does well to retain the ball. Whitaker. Morrison, it's a pretty ambitious effort from long range, and that won't go out. So Rankin will get on the end of it. Partridge Moore in her first start for Southern swings it in. Brooke does well to clear it to the goal scorer Atkins. Sarah Morton does just enough there. Lucas holding it up. Morrison can't find a teammate there, so it's Cooper pouncing for Suburbs. Van Dort always composed at the back. Wong looking to get it back from Cooper, but they continue to build, and Cooper, who's looked to get involved heavily since coming on at the break. Partridge Moore does brilliantly to cut that one out from Wong. Oh, just Whittaker wasn't quite ready for the pass. Impressive play from the young Southern defender, 20-year-old. Winning the ball, good determination. Power that's kept it in down the flank there. Play on. Suburbs recover though. Yoshida, such a calm presence in the middle of the park for Suburbs. And that'll stay in as well. Lucas can't beat Kennard to the ball though. Yoshida looks to swing it across to Wong. Partridge Moore up against her, and she'll have to track back as Wong drives forward, but Suburbs move it out the left. Metum can't find a teammate. The intensity's just going up another notch here from both teams. Diaz wins a free kick there under pressure from Metum. See the Southern coaches there, Chris Ridley and Graham Smale, urging their side on and urging them to get forward here for this. Sent long by Morton, it comes back to Morrison. Again, another hopeful effort from her, but it could be an awkward one, and it's gone in! Emily Morrison! Probably wasn't the way she was intending to hit it, but it was an awkward one. The goalkeeper, Kate Payne and Southern, equalise for Emily Morrison. All came back to Morrison and had a go from long range. Bit of a Gary Owen up in the air, but just caught out Payne. It was maybe just a foot further out than she would have liked to have been, and it was a tricky one, especially in the wind here. Morrison doesn't care. She's on the score sheet, her second goal of the National League. She scored Southern's equaliser against Capital here a couple of weeks back. She scored the equaliser here, and she's back on the ball. Have to excuse her language there, as she wasn't happy with her touch. So Southern's persistence rewarded again, as we so often see. Have to feel a bit for the young goalkeeper, Kate Payne. Hasn't had a huge amount to do today. And it was just a really awkward one for her that looped in from long range. Goes all the way through to Southern goalkeeper Kate Hannay. Morrison's goal might not quite make the goals of the week this week, especially with some of the goals that we've seen and we keep seeing every weekend, but home side won't care. They'll be hungry to keep pressing and try and find a winner themselves, but Suburbs got plenty of firepower out on the pitch. Rose Morton does well there. Yoshida lays it back to Van Dort. Wong and plenty of space down this right flank. Clever ball down the line for Meram, who provided the assist for that opening goal, and that could have been a dangerous one, but Hane's alert to it. There's a great article in the local paper down in Dunedin, the Otago Daily Times, this week, as Suburbs look to attack, but Sarah Morton and Hane just about combined well to deny Lucas there. But yeah, nice article on Southern goalkeeper Kate Hane. She's only 20 years old, is from up in Auckland, where she played for Western Springs a few years back, but was forced out of football for a number of seasons due to a chronic illness, complex regional pain syndrome. But has managed to get back involved playing football. Wasn't originally a goalkeeper, but that's how she can still enjoy her football while dealing with a chronic illness. And well, she's been superb. Played for Rosamai Carey in the winter down here, but has just stepped up so well at National League level. As Diaz with a strong challenge there. Only 20 or so minutes to go here at Logan Park. Scores locked at 1 apiece in this penultimate round of the New Zealand Football Women's National League. Southern United's final home match of the season. They travel away to face Northern Rovers next week. Suburbs play Western Springs in their final match. A bit of a dead rubber, so to speak, as Atkins does well. That's what we see from her down the left flank and couldn't quite keep it in, as Lucas was looking to get a close range header there. The Eastern Suburbs will host Western Springs next week in the last round, and what's essentially fairly meaningless, with both teams already having locked up first and second spots respectively. And then they go head to head a week later in the grand final. What a great league it's been. Great to see 2 full rounds of National League football for the women for the first time, as Cooper, well, great goalkeeping there from Hane. Such a brave presence in goals for Southern United. Did well to claim that one. Bryant battling away. That'll go all the way through to Payne though. Ball falls for Lucas. Can't quite link up with Cooper though. Plenty of other football action, I think. Just getting underway, probably right as we speak, is the other Women's National League fixture still remaining this weekend between Auckland United and Capital. Following on immediately from this match, jump onto Sky Sport 3 to catch the men's National League final between the two outstanding sides in that competition, Auckland City and Wellington Olympic, as Yoshida looks to slide it through. It's a clever ball and going down under a challenge. Suburbs player. May have been Findlay. It was, and seems to be in a lot of pain. And you do wonder, going down in the box like that, appeared to have been caught, but no penalty awarded. Findlay will get some treatment once again from Helen Littleworth. Let's hope that Ella Findlay's okay. New Zealand Under-20 World Cup star. A few exhausted players out there. Met him having a drink. The Southern players just grouping together with the coaches, Chris Ridley and Graham Smale. See what the message will be for the final 15 or so minutes of the match for them. Findlay seems to be in a bit of pain here. Once again, you'd hate to see her pick up an injury that could keep her out of being involved in that grand final. But there's plenty of concern from her teammates here. Not too sure if Suburbs have any remaining players on the bench other than goalkeepers. Findlay has lifted off the pitch rather concerningly. And assistance from plenty of teammates there. Appears to be in a bit of pain with what could be an ankle injury. We've already seen top goal scorer Taylor O'Brien go off injured. Couldn't be in better hands there, Ella. Ellen Littleworth. Play will hopefully get back underway here soon.
This is number 3.
So I'll try to see whether Suburbs have anyone else on the bench that they've been able to bring on. Head lays it across to Brooke. This play's back underway here. The wind picking up again here at Logan Park could make things particularly awkward. Bit of pressure here from Suburbs, and Yoshida with Whittaker battling away and does well to win the ball. Partridge Moore again getting quite adventurous from the back for Southern. Southern spark something here. I think they're playing with a one-person advantage now. So it looks like Suburbs had already exhausted all of their substitutes. Lucas. Sarah Morden in close attention throughout much of the match. Van Dort lays it across to Wong, who came on as an early substitute herself when Olivia Page picked up an injury. So three injuries for Suburbs, which probably be of more concern to them than whatever the eventual result of this match is. Sarah Morden cuts that one out. Diaz links up with Bryant. Holds it up as well as anyone in the competition, and Whittaker takes on Yoshida, or slid it across. Not sure if it was a shot or a cross, may have been trying to link up with Diaz. Southern will probably see an opportunity here to try and claim what would be a big 3 points. locked on, and Southern looking to press up the pitch here. Suburbs have played out of here nicely though, and Cooper driving forward. Comes back for Metham. Out to their goal scorer, Atkins. Tries to link up with Lucas. Still on the ball though, Juliet Lucas. Cross coming in, it's a dangerous one. Wong on the far post. Oh, Partridge Moore does well. Gets there just in the nick of time. Southern look to counter again. Whittaker. It's too far ahead of Bryant though. The Southern side was so immensely proud of their earlier fixture back in week 5 against Eastern Suburbs, and they had to travel up to Auckland to place the high-flying Suburbs at Medill's Farm. This was a Southern side that had conceded 13 goals in their first 2 matches as Diaz battles away with Brook. And Southern in that round 5 clash only conceded a solitary goal to Juliet Lucas. It was early in that clash that Lucas scored, but it was the only goal of that match, and I think despite losing that fixture, Southern, that really instilled a lot of belief in the side and competed so well in the competition since then as well. Atkins and Power once again battling away. Metham, who's been busy across the park for Suburbs today. Give a shout out to some people around the world watching this match. Isn't it great that you can tune in no matter where you are in the world as Diaz pounces on this. Bryant looks to feed it through to Whittaker, but Yoshida does brilliantly be in the right place. Had some messages from people in Australia, people in Canada, Hamish and his crew in Calgary. Hope you're enjoying the action. I know that you'll be hungry to try and see Southern find a winner late in this match, but it's Suburbs on the attack. So we're inside the final 10 minutes or so. Findley's still receiving treatment over there. That's got to be of some concern for the young star. Going to be the left foot of Amy Atkins, the goal scorer. Look to swing it right into the 6-yard box here. Oh, it's at the near post. It's well cleared by Kanapa. Atkins will get another chance. Drives this one in, but whoa. Just about ended up in Forsyth Bar Stadium. Luckily the rain has stayed away so far. Let's hope it stays that way, because just about 150 metres along the road here, they've got a international cricket match starting soon between New Zealand White Ferns and Bangladesh, and Freya Partridge Moore again getting a long way forward, still battling away there. Impressive play from the Southern defender. Great sports hub really down here in and around Logan Park and Dunedin. Nicely cut out from Yoshida as she beats Rankin to the ball. Both players have put in a huge shift today. It comes out for Lucas. She'll look to get it back from Cooper, but can't get it under control. Just hasn't really gone Lucas's way today. scorer in the NRFL Women's Premier League through winter with 16 goals. Has scored 6 in just 8 appearances in this National League as well. Still only 18 years old. Power was looking to get on the end of that one. Now Sarah Morden's caught out of position. Can Suburbs take advantage? Yoshida still got as much energy as when she started, but great challenge from young Partridge Moore. Gee, she's been brave today. And here she is again, although they have struck her hand there. Whose way has that one gone? Yeah, it looks like it's gone against the young Southern defender there. Gee, she's put in a shift as well. But here's a good set-piece opportunity for the visitors. It's Metam coming across, who supplied the cross to Amy Atkins for the goal that gave Suburbs the lead on the hour mark. Didn't have the lead for long though. It was only about 6 minutes or so before Emily Morrison equalised for Southern. I feel like there could be one more goal in this game though as we wind down. It's going to be Atkins now. Swing it in on her left foot. She'll be looking to get it right into the mixer, I think. Get a lot of power on the ball as we saw before. So goes for placement here. Whoa! Hane just does enough to keep it out of goal. Could have been an awkward one as she crashed into the post. It just didn't quite have enough power on it from Atkins to trouble Hane too much. Awkward bouncing ball here. Swan getting all the way back, and fortunately for Suburbs, Payne can mop it up. Van Dort under pressure here from 3 blue shirts, and Rankin will get onto this. Pretty tired legs out there. Whittaker loves these kind of positions. She'll get a shot in. Strikes that one with power, but about a metre over the bar, unfortunately, for the Southern attacker. She's frustrated. She knew there was a big chance. We've seen her score plenty of goals from those kind of places. Be a substitution here for Southern actually. Don't see them make too many changes, and plenty of young players on the bench. Maybe Gemma Wilson, who's on the bench for them. I'll see if I can make out what change they've made there. Oh, actually, great to see number 12, Zara Prattley, on the pitch. Really exciting attacking player. Only recently turned 16, I think. One of the youngest players in the competition, but a huge talent. Awkward one here for Sarah Morden, but nice composure to go all the way back to her keeper. It's only gone as far as Wong though, and Rose Morden, as ever, mopping up. Looking to find Prattley there, but Southern will get it back again. Heavy touch though from Bryant. She'll probably be excused for that with the effort she's put in today. Rose Morden as well with another couple of challenges. Head lays it across to Brooke. Remember, Suburbs, by my count anyway, still having to play with 10 players after Finley's injury a few minutes ago. Atkins slides it through to Lucas, who turns. Oh, look at that defending from Kennard. Brilliant from the experienced Southern centre back. So calm. Of course, formed such a brilliant partnership over the last few years with Anna McKay-Wright, but her centre back partner has missed the last couple of matches, having to get surgery for a long-standing injury. It's pretty handy when you can have Sarah Morton slot back in there though. Partridgemore again, not afraid to try and win the ball back for Southern. Rankin lays it across to Morrison. I can see there's some pretty tired players out there, but still battling away. So we're getting close to the 90-minute mark here. Can either team find a late winner? Southern look hungry for it. Partridgemore looks to slide it across to Rankin. Plenty of blue shirts forward here. Pratley takes on a player and couldn't quite link up with a teammate though. Can Suburbs pounce? It's fed through here for Lucas. Hane stays back on her line. Sarah Morton racing across. Met him. Swings it across. Kennard does enough. Van Dort drives in. Looks to open up a shot. Does get a left-footed effort in. Hane. The big dive, but wasn't required as it was wide of goal. Van Dort scored a header last week against Northern Rovers, missed a penalty as well. Loves to get forward like that. Couldn't find a decisive goal though. Bryant again with that boundless energy, but Head did enough at least to hold her up. Bryant, so good off both feet. It's a left-footed effort swung across. Is there one more chance left in this match? We're in referee Lindsay Robinson's time here. At the end of this clash. Power launches across in there. Whittaker can't quite get on the end of it. Southern will recycle it through Partridgemore. Oh, geez, an effort on goal. Wasn't troubling the goalkeeper, but once again, great confidence from the Southern defender in her first National League start. Morton wins that one. Power slides it across to Whittaker. She'll take on Van Dort. They've had a good tussle today as well. Whittaker cuts across to open up a shot. Gets it in and finds the net. Chelsea Whittaker with a brilliant winner. Surely 2 minutes into stoppage time. And Southern United take the lead coming from behind. Great composure. So good at taking on players like that. From just outside the box. Left Payne with no chance. What a strike from Chelsea Whittaker. And Southern take the lead. Is there one last chance here for Eastern Suburbs? Oh, you could make a case that there's not a lot to play for in a match like this. Suburbs hitting sewn up top spot and Southern destined to finish in the mid-table, but you can see from the reaction from the players how much that goal meant and how hungry Southern are to claim the scalp of Suburbs. Have been the best team throughout this National League. Is there another chance here for Whittaker? Just can't quite get on the end of that one. But Suburbs have got to go the length of the field here. Late in referee's time. What a scalp this would be for Southern. Suburbs, can they get forward for one more chance? Yoshida, it's been impressive. Lucas tries to link up with a teammate. She's never had any space without having Morton or Kennard pinned to her back. Cooper, but she's back to goal. Van Dort, what can she inspire for her side, the captain? Oh, just about opens up here for Medham and gets a shot in, but easy for Hane, who drops to the ground, trying to eat up a few more seconds as Southern look to cling on for a big scalp. And there is the full-time whistle here at Logan Park. Southern United come from behind to beat Eastern Suburbs 2-1. And it's been a massive effort from all the players out there today. Suburbs having to play the final 15 minutes or so, a player down because they picked up a few injuries, which is quite worrying with the grand final just a couple of weeks away. It appeared that Olivia Page, Ella Findlay and top goal scorer Taylor O'Brien all picking up injuries, so let's hope they're okay. But Southern United coming from behind. We'll see if we can get some highlights to you. Remember, it was goalless at half time. It wasn't till the hour mark when Eastern Suburbs took the lead through Amy Atkins, and it was good determination from Atkins after Nicole Medham had swung the ball across, and Atkins thundered in a shot. We're just about to get some highlights to you, which will include those goals. And here we are. So here's a desperate effort from Kennedy Bryant. The effort throughout the match from her, along with her teammates, was immense. There was a rare chance for Lucas, but it was from long range and couldn't trouble Kate Hane. That one was fairly easily dealt with by Hane as well. There weren't too many great chances in that first half. And that was a big chance for Diaz, but couldn't get it on target. Here's the goal. Atkins smashed it past a helpless Hane to give Eastern Suburbs the lead on the hour mark. But it's only about 6 minutes later when Morrison, well, rather hopeful effort, looped up from distance, but just caught out the unfortunate young goalkeeper, Kate Payne, for Suburbs. But that was the equaliser for Southern. Hane was brave throughout, did well to claim that one off the feet of Nicole Cooper. Van Dort tried so hard for her Suburbs team. Couldn't get that one on target though. And then in stoppage time, Whittaker up against Van Dort, and Whittaker cut inside and smashed it. Left the goalkeeper with no chance. What a finish from Chelsea Whittaker. I hope her family are watching over in Rarotonga and have seen her score what was the winner here for Southern United. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you keep tuning in to the closing weeks of National League action. In fact, jump on to Sky Sport 3 in a few minutes for live coverage of the men's National League final between Auckland City and Wellington Olympic. This was the final match of the season from down here in Dunedin. I've loved bringing you the action from every match from the Deep South throughout the season. So from myself, Morgan Jarvis, and everyone bringing you this broadcast, farewell from Logan Park in Dunedin. Have a fantastic Christmas.